Hello gamers and welcome to my second devlog.
Well, as you saw in the previous video, I started making a new game and uploaded the first video last week. Everything was going well until I ran the game on my phone and saw that it was running at 20 frames per second. I thought that the reason is because of my phone, but I tested the game on several other devices and the result was the same, and I realized that I messed up. Since not much had been added to the project yet, it was obvious that there was a problem with the rendering, and I came to the same conclusion by searching in Google, and I preferred to remove light from the game because it is not responsive for all phones yet and it's heavy. Then the first thing I did was build a randomizer for the player. That after starting the game, choose a random color. I also added a code to follow the player by the camera. When the player moves in the positive part of the y-axis, the main camera also starts to follow it. Another thing that had to be done was for the player to deal with the subsegments, which wasn't a difficult task. Inside the onTrigger function, this was done by adding a few lines of simple code. One of the things that record games should have is a spawner. That's why I wrote a code that whenever the player reaches the center of the circle, the next color wheel will be generated with a certain distance from the player. I had to make a color changer to prevent the game from getting boring. That's why I started coding again and made a color changer that spawns with color wheel at the same time. And then I set its alpha to 0 so that is not seen in the game and does not have a visual aspect. Because I felt it would make the game crowded. I added a score system to the game that scored the player from 1 to 5 for each segment depending on the brightness they have. The score increased from low to high. And that was where I came across million lines of code and died. I created a tag for each of the subsegments and wrote its own code for each of them and added it to the score system. Well, everything is working well now, although it's not final yet. And many things need to be added to this game, such as different kind of skin for the player, shop, gravity and rotation, and many other things. But the important point now is that because the number of subsegments is high, when the player is moving upward, it collides with a large number of segments. And player gets a lot of points without having done anything special, and this is what I have to fix for the next video. I will do my best to post the video as soon as possible, and I will be happy to implement your idea in the game. I hope you like this video too. And if you have any idea about this game or anything else, be sure to let me know. And peace.